Welcome back to the channel, guys. Owner Arna is here, and today I'm going to talk about top 10 lessons I learned from Sam Ovens. I'm a big fan of Sam, okay? And I've been following him and watching his videos since I was like 15 years old, okay? Like a long time ago, before the school era and before he did any of the software game and before he became popular as the CEO of school. I was a huge fan of him, okay? Literally since 15 years old. By the way, if you don't know who I am, guys, my name is Arnas. This is my Instagram account. You can message me, ask me any questions. And I run a business called Passionate Income. Okay, 1 million followers, around 75,000 email subscribers, which are extremely active right now. And yeah, we're going viral all the time. You see, one day ago, 53,000 likes. We know what we're doing here. But today is not about me. Today is about the GOAT. The real GOAT, Sam Ovens, okay? So top 10 lessons I learned from him. Let's jump straight into it. First, number one lesson, entrepreneurs are not civilians, okay? Entrepreneurs are different kind of people, and entrepreneurs don't do normal things, okay? Like when you think about the society, most people aren't entrepreneurs. Most people aren't entrepreneurial. And entrepreneurs break rules, they break stuff, they're rebellion usually, and their way of thinking is absolutely different. So you cannot take advice from a civilian, just non-entrepreneurial person in your life, okay? Like whatever advice about fitness, about relationships, about anything, don't take advice from non-entrepreneurs. That's why I surround myself just with entrepreneurs. I just watch videos of entrepreneurs, okay? That's it. They have to be an entrepreneur for me to take any of their advice. Doesn't matter if it's outside of business, outside of entrepreneurship, anything, time management, okay? Anything, literally, relationships, anything, wealth, anything about investing. I'm not taking any advice from anyone who's not an entrepreneur, okay? Lesson number two, poor people make the same decisions every single day, and like it's their first time making it. They don't realize they're like a robot, you know? They're just doing the same thing over and over again, and they're expecting a different result, which is absolutely stupid, right? If you're doing the same actions every day and you're expecting a different result, something's off here, all right? You have some screws loose, all right? Because the formula, the input is the same, so the result will be the same. And 90% of your decision-making ability for the day is consumed by menial tasks, okay? So that means you want to automate your life and outsource things so you can focus on what counts, okay? So for example, when Sam Ovens talks, he says, I have a chef. I don't cook at all. I don't worry about that. I have a maid who comes at my home, cleans everything, so I have everything clean. I have a person taking care of everything, right? He pays people to come and cut their hair because it saves time. And you can actually focus on the task that moves the needle, right? Answering DMs, just hire a DM person, just hire a virtual assistant, right? A lot of entrepreneurs as well hire executive assistants from like Philippines, right? They pay them $800, $600 a month, and they're amazing executive assistants which help you in your life, right? To just do the small tasks so you can focus on the big picture. You can make the tasks that actually move the needle in your business. So for example, if you have a personal brand, what moves the needle the most? Talking in front of the camera, uploading Instagram stories, right? You cannot outsource that. But everything else that doesn't include you being there, you can outsource that. You can hire people. And especially the small tasks like cleaning, cooking, doing dishes, stuff like that. You can hire someone for that, right? Track your metrics, okay? What gets measured gets accomplished in anything. It could be fitness, it could be health, it could be decisions, it could be your day-to-day life, it could be anything in your business. Track every single metric that you want to improve, and it will get better over time, okay? If you don't track it, obviously it won't get better. I remember when I started my entrepreneurship career, I wasn't really tracking how much money I was spending. I was just looking at how much I was making. I was like, okay, I'm making good money. Who cares? And I had this abundance mindset, which we'll go later into it, but I wasn't tracking my expenses, right? And my expenses got out of the way, out of this world, right? I was spending crazy amounts of money without even realizing it, because I had this abundance mindset. Like, it's not about how much you spend, it's about how much you earn, which is absolutely true. But also you need to know how much you spend. So I remember I didn't measure that, because I thought, well, that's irrelevant, because if I'm making big amount of money, doesn't matter, right? But that's not true. You need to track every single metric that you think is important. In your business, it could be numbers, but it could be how many calls you did this month, right? And how many sales calls you did this month, and in how much revenue it equated, right? Just measure these little things. Also, keep it super simple, right? What I learned from Sam Ovens, the answer lies in the basics, okay? Like, the basics, just do the basics perfectly amazing, right? Like, if you do the basics very, very well, then you'll be the best out there. Because most businesses in general, if like, they don't do the basics well enough, right? They do everything, like a little bit of everything, but they don't do the basics perfectly. And the companies that do the basics perfectly, they have incredible success, right? They're like billion-dollar companies. So everything lies in the basics, and stop overcomplicating life with tools and techniques and stuff like that. Doing the basics every day will put you ahead of 99% of people. Okay, so what are the basics? Just sleep well, okay? Exercise. Try to not eat processed food. Just eat healthy, right? Whatever you follow in terms of diet. That's it. Have a positive mindset on everything and do the work, okay? Wake up in the morning. Don't have a 3-hour morning routine, 5-hour morning routine. Why would you do that? Just wake up. Right when you wake up, have a cup of coffee, have an hour to just wake up, shower, whatever, brush your teeth, and you're ready to go. Jump in, start working right away. Boom, you're ready to go. Your brain functions the best right in the morning. It has the most capabilities to perform in the morning, right in the morning. Just a cup of coffee, that's it. I used to do, before, realizing that, I used to have such a long morning routine. I remember I would wake up at 5 in the morning, okay? Like, do everything, but not work. So I would do meditating. I would go to the gym. I would, prepare a very healthy breakfast. I would ground myself. I would get some sunlight. I would do this. I would do that. I would do this. I would do that, which would take me like, I would start working at 9 a.m. So I would wake up at 5. I would start working at 9. So 4 hours of my day would be just the morning routine. And that was so complex. Like, did that help me succeed? Not really. I was just disciplined. But if I was the same discipline, I used the same discipline to do the work I needed to do, probably I would have gone further when I had that. Okay. A lot of entrepreneurs need to think in systems instead of components. Okay. And component thinkers often struggle as entrepreneurs because they fail to see the bigger picture, okay? So whenever you're hiring someone, let's say you're hiring an appointment setter, don't focus on the appointment setter itself. Focus on the whole system of the whole macro ecosystem of how it will help your business. And that's just a small component of your business, not the whole system, right? So you need to focus on the systems. Another one is, don't let fear hold you back, okay? Fear signals that you're getting out of your comfort zone, which is absolutely amazing. You're stepping outside of what's comfortable for you, and you're growing, right? And growth only comes through pain. Focus on the positives instead of the negatives. So for example, me, if you look at my YouTube channel right now, I've been uploading almost every single day for the past 60 days, okay? Almost every day for 2 months. Is it comfortable for me to be in front of the camera no matter how I feel? If I feel sick, if I don't feel like my skin looks best today or whatever, I still do it, right? I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. When I started my coaching business, right, I needed to do sales calls and I hated sales. Something was rooted in the back of my head that I didn't want to sell someone a high ticket product for thousands of dollars, and I didn't want to sell them because I thought that's bad. But that was just me stepping out of my comfort zone. And now I overcame it. And now I feel extremely confident when doing sales calls, right? Because I know what we provide is actually very useful for them. And like if they enroll and they start working with us, the client will be extremely happy after 3 months, right? After 6 months, they'll have insane results. So that's just a few examples, but don't let fear hold you back at whatever stage. Maybe you're investing money. Maybe you're buying something expensive, right? You're like buying the most expensive laptop or buying the most expensive phone right now, and it's the first time you're ever buying a MacBook for $5,000. But you know what? That's a tool that will bring you a lot of money down the line. So don't let fear hold you back. It will just improve your business, and never fear anything. Just make it happen. Even if you do fear something, just make it happen, right? Another one is extremely important, is the price you're confident charging others is the price you're confident in investing in yourself. Okay, so if you're unwilling to invest in yourself, others won't want to invest in you either. And I had this mental block where I come from, Lithuania, which has a Soviet background. And in Soviet Union, no one had a lot of resources. The resources were very limited. So people used to save money a lot, right? They used to be very frugal with everything. And that's the environment I grew up in. I used to save a lot of money. If I could, sell something used that I used, I would sell it for the highest price. Like I would be just extremely frugal, always trying to get the best deal, always trying to pay the lowest price, always trying to get the best discount there. And that mindset will stop you from actually making more money, because no one wants to buy an expensive product from a frugal person who's not willing to invest in themselves. Okay. So for example, if you run a coaching business and you're selling a program for a lot of money, but you're never investing money in yourself, and all you're doing is just watching free YouTube videos and taking freebies from people, but never investing in yourself, people will feel that, okay? People have a sense where they're like, yeah, that this person is just like not investing in themselves. Or people have a sense where they say like, there's something off about this, okay? So you want to be investing in yourself. And I met loads of entrepreneurs who are extremely successful. And until they had that switch of abundance mindset, like, okay, I'm spending this money here, but it will come back in my business. And Sam Ovens gives a great example where like he used to watch pirated movies, and he turned on a pirated movie. He watched it and he was like, what the hell am I doing here? He turned it off. He bought the movie, okay? And then he watched it when he bought it. So just don't do anything stupid and try to be extremely frugal, try to hack the system, try to pirate movies, anything like that. I learned that from him, and it applies everywhere, in every situation of life, okay? 8th point, success is not about having a perfect plan. It's about taking imperfect action, okay? So for example, I started doing YouTube. Did I have a perfect plan? No, I just told myself, hey, I'm gonna post every single day now, like for as long as possible, literally. And until I run out of any ideas I have. And I just started, okay? Did I plan everything? Did I study Iman Gaji and how he does his videos or whatever? Not that I want to be Iman Gaji, but like I didn't create a perfect plan. I just started. It's been like a long time now. I probably uploaded like 100 videos on my YouTube channel so far. And now I kind of know what I need to do next. So yes, I do need, a new thumbnail designer. Yes, I do need an editor. Yes, I need a script writer of some sort of a kind. or an idea scouter, right? I know what I need to do to improve my YouTube. Now I know what topics I need to talk about. But when I started, I didn't know anything. I just had a bunch of questions in my DMs on my Instagram. People were asking like, yo, can you make a video about this? Can you tell me about that? And I was like, let me just start filming videos about what people are asking and give them what they want, and then I'll figure out the rest. Another example of this is, just taking imperfect action. I remember 2 years ago, around 2 years ago, I started my coaching business, right? Where I started charging clients high ticket prices to work with me one-on-one, because I already had like 1 million followers on Instagram and I was making good money through Instagram. So I had a lot to share, right? And when I started that, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what kind of sales script I should follow. I didn't know what my offer is. I didn't know how to create an offer. I was very scared to do a sales call. I remember the first time I did a sales call, I started like doing push-ups before like the sales call. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. Like my heart was like beating at a crazy rate. And I just started. And now it turned into a great business down the line 2 years ago, right? The same with my passionate income account, which I started, 4 years ago. I didn't know anything about Instagram automation and how to grow followers. I just started and I figured it out as I went. But the thing was, I stayed consistent with it. Okay, so even if I didn't know what I was doing, I stayed consistent with it. And I'm doing the same thing here with YouTube, right? Before I do like 100 videos straight to the camera every single day, like I can't even think of what works, what doesn't. That's the best thing. And that's the best advice, right? And I give the same advice for my coaching clients, right? When they do enroll in my program, some of them expect to go viral on Instagram with like first 2 or 3 videos. And I tell them, your main problem isn't that the content is bad, or the logo is bad, or the bio is bad, or the caption is off, or you're using the wrong hashtags or whatever, or you're not using this trick. It's just like you haven't put in enough volume and you haven't stuck to it. And the only way to improve is just to put in the volume you need to put in to know what you need to fix, right? Step number 9, lesson number 9. This is really, really good, okay? So we're not the highest versions of ourselves. We're the lowest versions of what we accept, okay? So a lot of people say, I want to be a millionaire, but they're not a millionaire because their standards are low, right? So they're the lowest version of what they can accept. That's the whole point. So your standards define your life, basically. And if you settle for less, that's what you'll get. So think about a billionaire, right? If they lose the money, their lowest standard is being a billionaire, right? They're thinking big. They're thinking of how they can make $100 million, right? How they can build this huge company, but their base is $1 billion. If they lose everything, there are so many stories of billionaires going back to that $1 billion in like no time, right? In a few years or in like 5 years. Why is that? Well, because their lowest standard they will accept is being a billionaire, right? I had the same like mental block in my head where I had a bank balance which felt very, very comfortable to me, okay? Like a bank balance which every time I would be at that bank balance, I would be happy. I would be like, okay, it's not great, but it's not bad. I can be at this point, I can live off of that money for like 2 years. I'm good. Every time that bank balance would drop below my imaginary number, like I would find a way to go back to that or even further. And every time my bank balance would jump, right, from like the standard, lowest standard I have in my mind, let's say it would jump by 10,000, like some way, something would happen in my life. Either an incident or an unexpected huge charge or whatever, that balance would go back like a thermostat, right? To the lowest version of that balance, right? So the number 10 lesson, and this is very important, you will only get others to believe in you and in what you believe if you truly believe it yourself, okay? So if you're like all over the place, you don't really believe that, for example, with Instagram automation, I see a lot of people doing this. They're like, hey, shadow pages, this, that, and they're never successful. And I know why. Because they don't believe themselves they can make money with shadow pages or Instagram automation or whatever. You see, I made a bunch of money through that, and I feel like totally confident. If I would be coaching people how to do it and making content about it when I started, like 6 months in, before I made any big money, obviously I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe in it myself, right? But right now, I have like crazy confidence. Like you cannot prove me that this is not a great business model, and you cannot prove me that you won't be able to make money with this now and in the future. So if you believe that, people see that. And if you want people to believe you, you need to believe it yourself, deep, right? For example, whenever, if anyone's listening here and they worked in sales before, you know it already. The first thing you need to learn when going into sales is about your product. Why? Because you need to believe in your product. When you're selling your product, you need to believe that it's the best product. And when a company hires you as a salesperson, what do they usually do? They show you the testimonials of people who bought that thing, right? They show you the reviews, how happy people are. They explain you why their product is really good. And what they do provides value, right? That makes you believe in the product, and then you can actually sell it. Because if you don't believe in the product and you have, let's say, 1% doubt in the product, you won't be as good of a salesman as the person who truly believes that what they're selling is amazing. All right, that was a long video, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment down below, and shoot me a message. If you're a Sam Ovens fan on Instagram, we'll have a conversation, and I'll see you in the next one.